Hey guys, and welcome to my channel where I don't post like ever. So I don't really make videos on the channel, but a friend of mine started making videos about book reviews, so I thought I would talk about my summer reads that I've read so far and what I'm currently reading. And it's all these. So I've only really read, it's today's date. It's July 17th, and I have read technically 3.5 books. Context, I love to read. It's one of my favorite pastimes to do. I own a lot of books. I literally have a whole cart right here full of in a bookshelf. I love to read, it's a lot of fun. But yeah, I've been getting way more into like the book talkish type of books, just because like those are the ones that are popular, obviously, and they're popular for a reason, but also just some like classics and stuff like that. So I'm gonna talk about the ones that I've read so far. Okay, so the first book that I guess this is the first one I completed, but I started this one first out of the 4, and it's Circe. So I read Song of Achilles. It's actually right behind the camera, but I read Song of Achilles and I loved it, and I loved Madeline Miller's writing, and so I decided I'm gonna try Circe. I love Greek mythology, and that'd be really fun, and I started this about a month when I had like about a month left of my senior years, and I started this when things were getting crazy, because obviously if you've ever been a high school senior, it gets crazy towards the end of the year. But so I started this then, but I didn't finish it. I only finished it a couple weeks ago. This one was good. I gave it a good 4 stars. If you really like Greek mythology and you know who like Circe is and like those stories, you'll really like this one. It's a lot of fun. The beginning's a little slower, I guess. It took me a while. It's hard to gauge because it took me so long, a span of like a couple months to finish this book, but to me at least the beginning felt kind of slower, but I think as you read more it kind of picks up. But I also think it being slower goes with the book stuff, like what the story's actually about. But yeah, I don't want to give too many spoilers in case you want to read it. I'll probably have a spoiler section at the end of this video, but yeah, that's Circe. Next book I read because I was kind of in a book slump and I kind of wanted just to like read something short, and I saw Barnes & Noble kind of on sale, and I was like, you know, it's small, it's short, it'll be fun to read at night, and that is Peter Pan. It's also a beautiful cover. It's the Signature Classics cover, and I got it on sale, and it was great. But Peter Pan, I love Disney stuff. Clearly, you can see my Disney shelf back here. But this book, I loved the movie Peter Pan growing up, and so I said, why not read this book? Because it was between the ones that were on sale. It was like a bunch of classics, and then it was this one, and then is it Treasure Planet? I think it was Treasure Planet. And I hadn't seen Treasure Planet at the time yet, so I was like, I'll just pick up Peter Pan. And it's really good. I think I have a chapter left of it. It's really short, but I really like small books like this. It's like literally, I think it's about 100 pages. It's very short, but I like small books like this whenever like I'm in a slump, because it's a quick read. I can kind of get through it pretty fast, and it kind of allows my reading comprehension to still be good as I read other books. But yeah, this one was really good. It's a little slower. It's if you go into this book thinking it's exactly like the Disney version, you're gonna be wrong. Go into thinking about Grimm's fairy tales. It's a little bit darker. Even though it is like a kid's tale, it's a little bit more involved in like stuff. It's a little bit harder because it's like British English. What's this written? I think it says it somewhere. Well, I guess the original story of this was in, I guess, 1904. I didn't realize the story was that old. Good to know. Like I said, if you need a short read, this was a great one, and I loved it. It wasn't amazing, but it was bad. So it is what it is. So the most recent read I had was A Good Girl's Guide to Murder, and as of recording this video, I don't know when it's gonna come out, but like as of recording this, I think I read this 12 hours ago. Like, I literally zoomed through this whole book in 24 hours. It was really good. If you love murder mystery, this is definitely the book for you. But yeah, I really liked the characters in this, the way the mystery is kind of told, where it's almost like there's a lot of evidence and you can kind of piece it together yourself. Is really fun. For anyone who knows the game Life is Strange, this reminded me a lot of it. But yeah, it's really good. Like I said, I'll give spoilers probably at the end of this video for each of these books really quickly, and like what I thought about specific events, but this one was really good. This is also the only book that I actually recorded myself reading. I didn't actually start recording this book until like part 3 of this book because I figured things were gonna ramp up, and they did. So we'll get to the spoilers in a little bit, and that's where you'll probably see most of the recordings for this, but I loved this book. I am so excited to read the second one. I'm a little scared of the third one because I've seen the TikToks, but I'm super excited for this one. I love this book. I haven't read a book in 24 hours like that since I think Percy Jackson, but I literally read this in 24 hours. I only stopped to go eat. Like, I loved this book. This book was great in it. I love it. And then my most recent read is Warcross. So this book, I have read this book before, but I read it when I was about 12 years old. It's written by Mary Lou, or Marie Lou. I don't know her name. Marie Lou, Mary Lou, I'm not sure. But this book was in my bookmark. This book was, I would say this was a Bluebonnet book. I can't remember, but I remember our library was holding like a showcase of books, and this is one of them. And I actually read this in the library at my school, but I love it so much I bought myself a copy, and there's a sequel to it, which I haven't read, I've never read, but I wanted to reread and give this one a shot because I actually liked it a lot. It was really good. It's kind of like, it's a lot like Ready Player One in the sense of like, it's a world, a futuristic world where they live and they coexist, but there's also this like video game virtual reality world that they also go to. It's basically about a young hacker who goes into this world and like vibes, and she's taken on this team. I haven't actually finished this one. I just started it today. I'm about a third of the way through. I don't know if you can see it, but I'm not that far in. But yeah, this is a good one. If you haven't read this, it's marketed for like 12 and up, but like the text size is like any other young adult book. So this author, I think she also wrote Legend. If anybody has ever read that, it's a great book. But yeah, I definitely recommend this one. This is not one that's like on BookTok. I don't think anyway. It was super popular a couple years back, but this book, yeah, if you haven't read this book, this book's really good. Especially like futuristic Ready Player One style books. Great. Okay, let's go into the spoiler section now. I really like this book goes in like a timeline order when like Cersei gets exiled to like where does it end? Oh, when she's with Telemachus. Because you are literally with her pretty much almost not her whole life, but like a good chunk of it, and you're with her and you get to experience how long she's been exiled, especially when she's talking to Daedalus in the beginning, and then Odysseus, and then is it Glaucus? I remember his name. Greek names are hard. Whatever her first love was, and then Scylla, you get to like almost be there to like almost experience the world around her with her. It's really fun, and like this is definitely a good like women's empowerment book. Like if you're a hardcore feminist or you like that type of stuff, there's not a point in this book where like a man really comes to save her. She's basically on her own for most of it and is making her own decisions and fighting back off her own accord. She's a talented witch and she's doing great things, and it's like definitely a woman's power type of book, and it's it's really good. It's a lot like Peter Pan, where it's a lot more dense. Like reading it is one of those where you have to like sit down and read it and make sure you're comprehending what it's saying, because like it's written in a way, love Madeline Miller's writing by the way, but like it's written in a way where like tangents can go on for a while, so like you really have to kind of pay attention. But like once you get through that, and if you like that type of reading, definitely book for you. Okay, there's not really much to talk about Peter Pan. I pretty much said it. It's like, if you don't know the story of Peter Pan, it's about a boy who never grows up. But yeah, I mean, the story's kind of slow, but it's not terrible. Except I don't really have much to say about this one. It's just the story. It's a kid's story. This one, however, maybe because it's fresh and that's why I remember most of it. But like, ooh, the last act, especially of this book, is crazy. But the first act is I read. So when I say I read this in like 24 hours, I mean like I read 50 pages before I went to bed, got up, and then read the rest of the book before I went to bed again. So I read maybe about, I don't know, 60 or 70 pages in, and it was crazy. I was like, wow, this is wild. I want to read the rest of this book. And I literally sat on my bed and in an armchair, and read the rest of this book, like front to back, quickly. And it was crazy. Because spoiler-wise, if you don't care about spoilers, I so highly recommend you read this book, spoiler-free though, because there's so many good twists and turns in it that you're like, I was not expecting that. One of which being Barney. I'm about to fight this person over this dog. Who just takes someone's dog? This is the scariest killer I've seen. Bro was like, I'll take your dog. What the hell? Why? Like I said, I've recorded myself only really reading this book just because I thought it was gonna be fun to see my reaction to it, not realizing that Barney was gonna die. And I was sitting there reading it, and I think I was recording a time lapse, and I was recording it, and I had to like stop the time lapse and take a mind. Okay, I'm gonna take a break. I need to go hug my dog because now I'm sad. What the hell? But yeah, I was not expecting it. I was like, oh. This is one of those books though that like I could totally like. This is why I love to read. When I read, I can see the scenes so vividly in my head, and this is some books more than others, and this one was one of those where like I could see the entire book playing out. And I think there is a show for it. I haven't watched it yet, but this is one of those where like it would make such a good series, and I'm excited to see the show. I'm also gonna be a little disappointed because I have such a strong vision of these characters in my head, but yeah, this one was very like, and maybe it was just the imagery, I don't know, but like this one was very like vivid in my head, and I loved that about it. But even the back, like, again, spoiler warning, if you have not read this book, do not, I'm about to talk about the killer in a second, or killers, I guess. I just read through part 3, and basically what you just find out is that Sal's innocent, which like, I kind of already figured. I will talk about the suspects. I don't think it's Max, because I think he just sounds like a shady dude. Like he just, I mean, he could be a murderer, I guess, but like, there has yet to be a motive as to why. It's just odd. It's weird. I don't get it. I don't know why it would be him. I don't like any of these suspects. I thought for a while it could be, I don't know, I'm still holding out kind of hope that hope is the completely wrong word. I guess my like wild card is Naomi and Kara's dad. Just kind of like, I mean, it would be a twist. He would obviously have Pip's number, he would know where she was at. I could totally see a world where like he knew about the hit and run, but never said anything, so he didn't want to get his daughter in trouble. I guess I have the list here, I guess Daniel Da Silva and Max are just the most likely in my head. But I'm also excited. I think my wild card is the dad, I think. I'm gonna be so mad if it's Robbie though. Oh my god. I don't understand. If it's Robbie, I'm gonna be so mad. I don't know why it would be, but like if it's like, I killed her and then I'm such my brother, I would be so sad if it is. Because I like Robbie and Pip and they're great and it's a little duo and it's amazing. I had thought it was Mr. Ward literally since like part 2. Well, I scratched that. I thought it was Mr. Ward immediately after she put it on the suspect list. If you there's a suspect list whenever she's like has these like logs and she's like writing this who she thinks the suspects are, and he was in one of them, and I literally sat there and I said, I think it's him, because there was a lot of evidence, and I talked about it a little bit, but like I literally like I just had that gut feeling because she was showing all the other suspects, and I was like, I mean, I don't really like any of them, like I think it's gonna be him. And like when it came to be him, I was like, ooh. What I wasn't expecting was like almost like the triple twist of one killing the other, one person killing one of the kids, another person killing the other. I was not expecting that. I assumed it was going to be a duo, but like I didn't think in that way where like they weren't like working together. I wasn't thinking that. And then on top of that, whenever he was saying that it's like presumed that he kidnapped Andy, and you're like, huh? And then you find out it's not her, you're like, what? But yeah, so I really love this book. I highly recommend you read it. Like I said, I'm gonna read the next 2 hopefully soon. It will be on like the birthday and Christmas lists and all that, because I really love this one. I really want to see where it goes, especially Robbie and Pip. Oh my god. Okay. I love Robbie and Pip in this book, but I'm excited to see where they go. I'm also terrified because, again, I have seen TikToks and people being very elusive about the next 2 books. So we'll see what happens. But yeah, great book. Really, Warcross. Spoiler-wise for this one, like I said, I haven't necessarily finished reading it, but I have read it before, and it's been a long time since I read this one. But so far, the ones I read, the stuff I remember about this book in particular was I really liked a lot like what's it called, Renegades by Marissa Meyer. It's got that like found family team thing going on, which is probably why I like Renegades so much now I think about it. But this book has that, and it's probably one of the first instances I remember any book really having that, because you grow really attached to the team in this book. Like I want to say sports team, but they're like whatever their like team is for the game they're playing. The only other thing I really remember about this book is like the love interests, and I always thought it was odd. However, I am now much older, and I feel like I'm also probably roughly around the age of the main character in this book now, versus when I was like 12 reading this, and I was like, I don't relate. But I think if I go back now, I might like the love interest better now. But I just remember it being like, because I'm not really gonna say who it is, because like I'll probably make a review in this book later once I finish it. But like I remember when I first read it, and I was just like, this is odd. Why did they do this? And like it makes, I guess, sense at the time when you're reading it, but I don't remember it. It's been a couple years. Plus, I never read the second book, so I don't really necessarily remember how it ends. I don't remember how this book ends. 1, 2, I don't know like what happens in relation to the love interest, and then also just the other characters in general. Like I don't know, like maybe they die, maybe they survive. I don't remember. So okay, so now I've told you what I've read so far, and I want to talk about what I plan to read. Yeah. So obviously when I finish Warcross, I've been yapping about it for like, I don't know, 5 minutes on this thing, maybe even longer at this point. Obviously when I finish Warcross, I probably will. I read pretty quickly through the like first couple pages. But after that, I mean, it's kind of hard to tell when I'll actually be able to read. Like I said, I anticipate the next couple of months of my life being very crazy, but I know for sure I definitely want to read The Sun and the Star. So this book is a Percy Jackson spin-off book. You probably know what it is. But I started reading the Percy Jackson series when I was sophomore, junior in high school, because I never really read them. I was a Harry Potter kid growing up, and I still love Harry Potter, but I just never read Percy Jackson, which I think is crazy, because I love Greek mythology, and I feel like I would have loved them as a kid, but I just never got around to it until I was older, and I was like, you know what, I'll give them a shot. I need something easy to read to get back into reading after COVID times. But I started reading them, and I loved them a lot. And then I read all 5 Percy Jackson books. I read all the Heroes Olympics books. And then I'm on, I guess I finished the first Trial of Apollo book. And I ordered the second one, so I guess that will be the next read. But I have to get through those books before I read This on the Star, which I really am tempted to skip the Trial of Apollo just to get to this, because I love Nico and Will a lot. And I want to read this so bad, and I've had it for so long. But I'm going to be a good little reader and read in order, so I will get to it when I get to it. The other one is Light Lark. So this book, I was with a couple friends and I bought it because I was like, you know what, I heard great things about it, I'll give it a try. It is very fantasy-y and I have yet to like get into it, but I think once I get out of the because I read a lot of fantasy books lately about like that type of stuff, so I think once I get out of that slump, I can probably jump into this and actually enjoy it. Because I tried reading this, I don't know, a couple weeks ago, and I only got maybe 30 pages in after 2 weeks, and I couldn't do it, and that's when I switched to Good Girl's Guide, and I read that like fast, so I think I just need to change pace. So I'll definitely give this a try at some point. I don't know when, but I would like to get to it. And the last one is, what's that book? Oh, hello. So the last book I don't actually have with me. I still need to go buy it. I just haven't yet because I got enough books to read already. But that is Powerless by Lauren Roberts. This book I've had recommended to me by not just one, but 2 people, and they both love them. Or they both love the book, and then they're currently reading the second one that came out about a week ago, maybe 2 weeks ago. They keep bugging me, you gotta read it, right? It's really good, and I want to read it, I just haven't gotten around to it yet. So that is another one that I hopefully get to, maybe I'll borrow the book. I don't know yet. But yeah, so those are the ones that are upcoming that I want to read. I just haven't gotten around to it. But those are down the pipeline. Anyway, that's gonna do it for this video. I thought it'd be fun to sit here and talk about the books I read because I like yapping about my books. But yeah, I thought this would be fun, and I will update you more as I read more books. I think this is really fun. I'll do some more of these. But yeah, I will see you guys in the next video.